On this short video, I want to talk about messaging and making your message as clear as possible so that it's more likely to get read. We put a lot of time and energy and thought into what we do and what messages we're putting out there. But sometimes we can put so much in, and there's so much information in that one single message that it doesn't get read or heard. Really, I'm talking today here about the ones that we are writing. So hi, I'm Lucy, and I help female business builders to expand their schemes, expand their team, and then scale their business online. So written messages can, if you look at written messages, other people's, they can be very jam-packed and they can be very informational, and there's loads of stuff, and the person that is putting that message out there wants to share lots and lots and lots of things, the whole thing in one message. So one thing to think about is, are you putting too much information into that message? So that would be the first thing to look at. And if you could break it up over maybe 2 or 3 or even 4 days and do a string of messages that are linked to that theme and pull out things that are really important, like one thing that's really important, and just share that. Then the next day, another thing from the message that you wanted to give and share that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, sometimes it's all bunched together. So it's a line after a line after a line after, and there's no what we call white space. There's no gap. So if you imagine a piece of paper is all white space before it gets written on. My ex used to call it snowbound. So if he would look in his diary and there was nothing written in there, he would just go, oh, it's snowbound, because it's all white. So once you start to write in something, it's filling up the white on the paper. So same with messaging, same with putting out a text message. It might be on Instagram, it might be on Facebook, it might be on LinkedIn. It's wherever you're putting your message. It could be on WhatsApp, it could be in Messenger. And that white space allows the reader to have a chance just to take in the snippet, and it's a much easier read. Try it for yourself. Write a whole load of text all bunched together and then space it out. Leave spaces between, maybe every other line, leave a space. So you've just got 2 or 3 sentences and then a space, and then maybe 1 sentence and a space. So that's the second thing. The third thing is to make the words really simple. If you're somebody who has a great language and you can use big words, I suggest not using them. You want it to be, unless you are talking to a very specific high-level audience and you only want that audience to understand what you're saying, because people will switch off if there's too many words. They have to think, not quite sure what that means, and I'm not quite sure what that means. I better look at, and then they've gone. So use really simple language so that you're talking to a school child, a young school child, maybe sort of around the age of 10, 8, 9, 10, that they would understand it if they read it. So that's the third thing. Make your message concise, which kind of goes back to the first idea of taking one element of the message that you want to give and just sharing that. So make it concise. It's just about that thing. So here we're just talking about written messages. Another way to break your message up is to put in bullet points and indent the paragraph if you can. So instead of all being down in one line, you now indent it and you've got 4 or 5 little bullet points. And again, it's just easier on the eye. The fifth thing is what's the intention of your message? So if your intention is to get somebody to respond to that message or to go through to a link, then the message at some point, or maybe even 2 or 3 points, needs to have a call to action. So if this is of interest to you, if you feel you have other elements that you feel would be really good when people are messaging, pop them in the comments below. So that would be a call to action in the middle of this message, for example. and then make sure it flows. So once you've written your message, a great thing, and I did this yesterday actually, I'd written an email and it kind of felt a little bit lumpy. And when I read it out, I was tripping over my words and I was like, what did I mean to portray there? What did I want to say at that point? And so here's a really good tip. Read it out loud and then cut the message by 10%. So cut 10% of that message out. And if it's not in there, does it still make sense? In fact, when I cut out probably more like 15 or 20% of the message, it flowed a lot better. It was an easier read. It got to the point more quickly. And so my message is more likely to get read because of that. So there are 5 really clear points that you can do and think about when you're writing your messages. So take note of what other messages other people are sending and look at those and think, that was an easy message to read. What was it about that message that was easy? Or on the other side, that message was difficult to read. What made it difficult to read? Or what switched me off from reading that message? So I hope this helps and that you are going to now get, because you put that into action, you're going to get more people reading your content. And you know, I'm not the world's best at this, but I'm learning and I'm putting it into action. And I see where I still need to improve. But if those 5 tips help you, then that's fantastic. Do have a look at the next video. And maybe there's some other tips that I can share with you to help you on your journey. So for now, take care. Have an absolutely awesome day. Bye for now.